what is the thing we don't talk about? Or sorry, what is the we don't talk about thing in your family? Like, we don't talk about Bruno, no.
We don't talk about
Bruno. What is the Bruno in your family?
What is a Bruno?
Is there anything? Comes anything to your mind?
Good question. I mean, I recently watched a documentary, like an SRF documentary, where they were talking about like your digestive system and poop and wherever, and they would do like street interviews asking people how often do you talk about poop, and I was surprised how many people often talk about their poop with friends or family.
Really?
That I was like, oh my god, I am someone who is not open and connected enough with my family that we talk about our poops. But yeah, so that might be a Bruno in my family.
Not the thing I expected you to say, but okay, I'll take it.
So yeah, so we never talk about our digestive systems and the results of
talk
it.
about poop.
We don't talk about poop. And yeah, let us know maybe in the comments if your family often talks about like the nasty biological normal thing that happens with your body. I would be interested to know.
Yeah, but mine also not. Actually, now that you're asking, we also don't talk about that really. Yeah, it's actually an important topic, but
but we never talk about it.
Don't.
And the other thing we don't talk about, it's like, sex. Which I think, I don't know.
At least not in a comfortable way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I do have to say that. I can't even remember if my parents gave me, talked about sex and sex education. I just remember when my little sister was, I think, around 5 or 6 years old or something, she did ask me about this, and I felt so uncomfortable. I was like, don't ask me. Ask mom or dad. No.
And it's so interesting in the Latino culture because, sex is so, part of our language. We have so many words for vagina and penis. Like and we make so many sex jokes all the time. But still, when it comes to it, to the serious talk, like at least in my family, we're still like, no.
It does feel like a taboo thing. Yeah, it is kind of like find it out on yourself, but don't find it out. Like, do not have sex, but have sex.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I'm thinking of something else. Is there anything more?
What is the Bruno in your family besides,
I feel like actually there is always some sort. I feel like in our family, there's always the black sheep. There's someone that's always like, we don't talk about this person because this person offended us. But it changes like weekly, monthly, Okay,
so the grudge doesn't last very long. It's just like, we will hate this person and we won't talk about this person
sometimes,
for 2 weeks.
But the grudge can be terrible. But sometimes I think my stepmom actually didn't talk to me for 3 months. Because I did not call her to ask her how she was when we were 1 month in Montpellier doing our French course in all as a class. And I was like, and that was the 3 months when I was not talked about, when I was just ignored. And I was like, okay, I was Bruno. Yeah, it changes though.
Okay.
Toxic
as fuck, but it's okay.
Okay, let's read the comments. Let's see. Apparently, our dad had another kid about 8 years older than me. That is some secret. My mom blurted something about it after their divorce when she was pissed about something. It was along the lines of, if he thinks he can forget you exist like that other kid of his. She then turned very white, and I was never able to get more out of her than that. My dad pretends he doesn't know what I'm talking about, but has apparently told my brother a bit of the story, and then backtracked and never talked about it again. So yeah, apparently I'm not the oldest.
Oof. And people that, I think we talk about this in another episode, but like people that keep secrets to the grave and they manage to keep them till the grave so that by the time they're dead, it's just then when the truth is revealed is so crazy to me to even fathom it. Like, wow.
And I feel like that is kind of the Latina culture because Latinas can be stubborn. So if they don't want to tell you something, they're not going to tell you and be like, it does not exist. It just exists. No.
But to hide a complete human being that is related to you, it's so crazy.
Yeah, and I have to think of the telenovelas actually here because it's like, how did something from the universe appear? It's one thing to keep it as a secret from your side, but that nothing ever appeared in a way of like, this person came and it's like, yeah, we have your kid, or I don't know, or you cannot marry them, or or the stories that I actually read some stories also, I think it was on Reddit, where two people were married and then actually found out that they were siblings, but they didn't know. The one person didn't even know that he was adopted by his parents because they kept it to the grave. They did never tell him. It never came out until this very point in their life. And I don't
know if I would throw myself up after finding out I've been sleeping with my brother.
You've not been married. But if you know someone 20 years and then it comes out like, this is truly telenovela stuff.
Oh my
They
God.
did not make those things up. Someone else wrote, my sister pretended to be me when she got arrested. Joke's on her. She paid the fine, and when it was found they didn't follow proper procedure, they refunded the fine to me. Karma.
That's true.
Okay. Someone else wrote, the fact that my cousin got kidnapped when he was a baby. Wow.
That's the beginning of the sentence, and then they write it as if it would be completely normal.
It's normal. Long story short, two young teenagers got knocked up, got married. Aunt wanted a divorce, but husband was abusive and manipulative, and she fled out of the state back to us, her family. He followed her to try to talk it out. She let him inside to talk. He took my baby cousin who was sleeping in her arms and fled out of state. Then he took her to court for abandoning her child and refused to let her see him. 20 years later, my cousin seeks us out and we are all reconnected. Thanksgiving dinners are great, but we don't talk about the whole ordeal.
That's such a telenovela.
That is super telenovela.
Like they're fighting, and then the man just decides to take a baby. Like that's the worst.
And not just that, he takes the baby, then goes to court to file against her. It's like what?
And the poor baby is just like, when are my diapers going to get changed? Like
seriously, I expected kind of that. That she got her back or something, and then just the fact that 20 years later, they seeked us out and we're a happy family now and never talk about it because nothing ever happened.
How can you not talk about it?
No, seriously, how? What? Oh my goodness. And let's make one more. Mm-hmm. A slightly happier story than most here.
Okay.
A few years ago, my sister and I reconnected after not seeing each other for 10 plus years.
Wow. Yeah.
The split was due to our parents' divorce being an absolute shitstorm. Neither of us had any desire to reboot what wasn't our fight to begin with, so we just don't bring it up. Yeah, that's wholesome, I guess. It's like they found their way to each other and yeah.
But it's so crazy to me that you can, disconnect with your sister for more than 10 years. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, in 10 years, a lot of things happen.
I would kind of like to know what happened, actually. Oh, someone actually asked, did each of you live with a different parent? Mm-hmm. And the writer replied, yes. Half the kids went to live with mom, half with dad. Is that... I don't know if it should be legal, but it's like...
Yeah, it's
is it common?
I think it's very common. Yeah, actually, yeah. But I think with the condition that, both children constantly get to see both parents. That they're separated. But
it looks like it is not, because if they didn't see each other for 10 plus years, it sounds like, yeah, this parent got that those children and this parent that, and then they lived separately and each had half of the children.
The way I understand it is that the divorce was such a shitstorm that each sister got like their version of the story supported by the parent they stayed with, and that's why they got mad at each other. Like,
could be, but that's so sad if they can split the siblings and then
and for more than 10 years. When I think about it, it's like a decade.
That's
it's so
long. I never reached out before that, but then again, I'm happy that they managed to reconnect now and they are like, you know what our parents did is their business and we just
got over.